Hey, if you're a dog owner in Laredo, you've come to the right place. We're going to walk through everything you need to know to find a fantastic dog trainer right here in town so you can feel really good about your decision.
The whole point of this isn't just about sit and stay. It's really about making your life together better. Think about it. Calmer walks along the Rio Grande, peaceful weekends at home. That's the good stuff, right?
So, what does that actually look like? Well, training here is all about getting your dog ready for what life in Laredo is really like. A great trainer is going to help you focus on goals that are actually useful for your life. Imagine your dog staying calm with all that truck traffic we have, or not getting totally overwhelmed at Mall del Norte. Or, just walking politely down San Bernardo Avenue without pulling your arm off. Being a good neighbor at community events, those are the skills that really make a difference.
Okay, so where do you even begin? Well, a really solid starting point is to understand what actually makes a trainer qualified. Let's talk about their methods and what all those letters after their name really mean.
You're going to hear this term a lot: positive reinforcement. And for good reason. It's basically the gold standard for modern, effective, and, kind training. It's not about forcing your dog to do things. Instead, it's all about rewarding the behaviors you want with things like treats or praise. This builds up trust and makes learning fun for them.
So about those letters after a trainer's name, they actually mean something. For example, CPDT-KA, that one tells you they have a solid foundation in dog behavior. KPA-CTP, that means they have real, hands-on skills using those positive methods we just talked about. And if you're working through some tougher issues, something like an IAABC certification shows you're dealing with a real specialist.
Now listen up, because this is really important. The state of Texas doesn't actually require a special license for dog trainers. What does that mean for you? It means it's totally up to you to check for these certifications. It's pretty much the only way to know for sure that a trainer has actually done the work and knows what they're doing.
All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. We're talking about the different kinds of training you can find and, of course, what it's going to cost right here in Laredo.
So, what are your main options? Usually, it comes down to group classes versus private lessons. Group classes are awesome for learning basic manners and getting your dog used to working around other dogs. But private lessons, those are perfect when you need to focus on a specific issue, like if your dog goes nuts when the doorbell rings.
And hey, there are other choices too. In-home training is great for problems that happen, well, at home. Day training is perfect if you've got a packed schedule. And then there's board and train, which is like a full-on immersion camp for your dog.
Okay, let's talk numbers. What should you budget for all this? Well, in Laredo, a typical 6-week group class is probably going to be somewhere between $140 and $250. A 1-hour private lesson, you're looking at about $65 to $110. Hopefully, that gives you a pretty good ballpark figure to start with.
Okay, so you know what to look for, you've got a budget in mind, now it's time to actually talk to some trainers. And trust me, having a few key questions ready to go can make all the difference.
Here's a little checklist you can use. First, definitely ask about their training philosophy. Make sure it lines up with those positive methods. Ask about their certifications. Ooh, and here's a good one. Ask them what they do when a dog is struggling or makes a mistake. And of course, nail down the total cost and what happens if you need to cancel. Oh, and ask what kind of homework you'll get, because what you do between lessons is a huge part of your success.
All right, once you get started with training, you're going to want to practice, right? So let's cover the local rules you need to know to do that safely and be a good citizen.
So, you're ready to get out there and practice? Awesome!
The rules in Laredo are actually pretty simple. Number 1, your dog has to be on a leash, and it can't be longer than 6 feet whenever you're not on your own property. Number 2, they have to be vaccinated for rabies and wear the tag. And here's a nice little bonus. You don't need a separate city license. That rabies tag is all you need for registration.
And if you're looking for great places to practice, we've got some good ones. For some safe off-leash fun, the dog parks at North Central Park and Webb County are perfect since they're fenced in. If you want to work on leashed walking with lots of new things to see and smell, the trails at Lake Casablanca are fantastic. And for something a little more low-key, Father McNabo Park is a really nice spot for a calm walk.
You see, at the end of the day, all of this work leads to something really great. It's not just about stopping bad habits. It's about giving you and your dog the freedom to have more fun together, at home, around the neighborhood, and all over Laredo.
Honestly, the training process itself is such a cool way to build a stronger bond with your dog. You're learning to communicate better with each other, so enjoy it. Enjoy the journey of building that connection and creating a really happy life together with your dog.